Hamana. Take two on today's video. I'm sorry. Um, today's been well, since my last video, since my live video. I think that was my last video. Things have gotten well. Let's just say I have an injury that I do not know how I got it. As you can tell, I'm wearing compression gloves. Um, I don't know if I think it's sometime Saturday. I did this. Must have done this sometime Saturday because Saturday night my hand was hurting. But I either banged my hand up against something, or just my job has caused me to have strained muscle or something like that in my ring finger and pointy finger. It's mostly my ring finger and around the knuckles. It's like from the actual knuckle to the first joint in my hand and my finger. But yesterday it was hurting, and if I put too much pressure on it or did the wrong thing, it would cause it to like hurt. And I don't know if it's muscle, pinched nerve, what it was. But last night I like medicated it, and I didn't wrap it in anything. I just put like icy hot or something like that on top of that on it, and then I'm trying to look at it now, and I can't tell if it's a glove that's making my knuckle look bigger or if it's swelling. But I put icy hot on it last night, and I woke this morning, it wasn't hurting, and I know it's not broken because I have full dexterity and whatnot. It's just like doing this too much hurts it, grabbing something too much hurts it. So I realize it's got to be muscular, and it's not as bad as when I hurt my foot. Quick story about my foot. Back in the early to mid 2000s, my wife and I helped her bestie Lisa move out of New York, and I was on the back of the van and basically taking bags and tying it to the roof and whatnot on top of the car. And when I went to come off the edge of the car, off the back of the car, on the side of the car, because it was closer to the sidewalk and it was less distance, when I came down, my right foot bent just right, and didn't hear a pop, didn't hear a crunch, didn't hear anything or feel anything that made it feel like it was broken. So the whole week we were down in Georgia, I'm popping Advil like it's candy and trying to stay off my foot as much as possible because I'm like, I don't know what I did, but it hurt like hell. When we got back to New York a week later, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, let's go to the office next door and get an x-ray. And sure enough, what happened was a small sliver of bone off the top of my foot had been popped away from the actual main bone part by the muscle. Like my bones are weakening and deteriorating, something like my grandfather had, due to poor calcium. So I ended up getting a cast for a month and a half to 2 months. He was like, we're going to put you in a cast. You can basically, you can do whatever you want. You can drive your car. You can go to work. You can do, just don't like get your cast. He said that it could get wet, but just don't like dunk it underwater. Like I couldn't take a bath or a shower. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. And they put the cast on, and they put a special sock over the cast to basically help protect my toes because I couldn't wear any shoes, and I wasn't going to go cut my shoes, up so I can put a shoe on my foot. But it took me about 3.5 to 4 weeks to heal up. And the doctor was slightly surprised because he's like, usually at your age, it's going to take almost, for a break like this, it could take 2.5 months or more. And I was like, nah, I'll be out of this in a month. No big deal. I was right. But it doesn't feel that painful, but I wonder sometimes, because like right now I can do this and I'm fine. I can do this and I'm fine. And I don't know if it's because it's compression. Yeah, this one I can't bend as far or, yeah, push as far. So it's definitely this, excuse the finger, it's definitely this finger, the middle finger, or the ring, pointy finger, whatever you call this one. I'm not trying to flip everybody off, no. So I'm just kind of like, I'm glad I got these. I went out and bought these 1988 at Walmart. They're the copper infused or copper fit gloves. They're great for arthritis, joint, muscle type stuff, according to the paperwork. The other thing about today, well, no, let's not get today except for the gloves. Sunday there was a major catering for the evening time. This morning there was a major catering that thankfully I didn't have to get involved in. They had it done and out before I got to work. It, typical weekend now that it's getting warmer and nicer and people are trying to go out and enjoy the weekend. Granted, it was somewhat overcast and rainy on Saturday. This morning it was nice and shiny. We had some business, but not like I'm going to pull my hair out type business. The rest of this week, except for tomorrow. Tomorrow I basically close, but like I have Wednesday, Thursday off. Me and Jerry may be going to get away for the 2 days. Like literally go, if we have the money, we're going to go see if we have a free room through our hotels.com account and maybe spend the 2 days away from the house. Cross our fingers. We've been wanting to take, she's wanting me to take an extra day off, so I have 3 days in a row off so we can have a 3-day weekend. But I said I don't know when that's going to happen because next week we're losing, well, one new guy basically quit because, according to what one of our other workers who's a best friend with him, basically said he basically bit off more than he can chew and he's not spending as much time as he wants to with his children. And, well, I'm not a father, but I can understand, good families nowadays, which I'm not going to say anything about, prioritize the kids. So next week I might be working literally 6 days out of the week. And with this one kid basically leaving, I don't know what hours I'm going to have. That in factor, next weekend, is Tyler's this week is Tyler's last week. So next week we're going to be down 2 people. And I'm like, oh boy. And well, Randy, the GM, basically said that tomorrow he's got to come in and do an interview with at least one person. And I'm like, okay, that's good. Hopefully they won't flake out like the other 2 people that we hired. One person basically said, well, one person called us after we hired them and said, thank you for the opportunity, but I found something better. And the second one, I'm not sure exactly why she basically quit or basically decided not to show up for work. And I have 2 different conflicting stories, and I don't know which one to believe. Story number 1 is kind of like, well, I don't know about the people at night, but I don't think there would be a problem. So I think that story of basically she didn't want to work because she didn't want to work with a bunch of perverted old men. And I'm like, my perversion, it sticks with my wife when I go to work because there's no place for it in the workplace. I am more opted to believe Randy that basically because she was a high school teenager, whatever, decided she didn't want to work because she wanted to spend her weekends goofing off, which is atypical for most high schoolers around here. But I got home today. Today was fairly all right. And one of my packages from Amazon came in. And I was kind of surprised because I wasn't expecting it for at least another week or two, because the estimated date of arrival was either today or sometime in May. I guess backstock, because these are nice masks, and these are great for the summertime. They're washable, reusable face masks, and they're open in the back, so you're not sweating your tail end off. That, in fact, are the reason why I like these the most, because they don't feel tight around my face and nose. They're tight enough where they cover everything, and they're easy to put on. I mean, it's just like you open up the back end, slip it over your head, take the loops, put it over your ears, pull that over your nose, and boom, it's on. And then I won't have to worry about trying to get my glasses on past the ear holes or the material of the mask. It sits right on top, and I don't see my glasses. So this is one of them. I love this one because it's supposed to be a Nordic style wolf. Fold this up real quick. And the other one is even more interesting because it has, as you notice, I'm going to hold it up, it's got runic symbols. I'm going to go translate those runes later on and maybe tell you guys about it. And this kind of goes in along the lines of some of the things I've been talking about lately. Just got to fold it up according to the creases and la-di-da. Boom, there's that one. And this one, I'm not even going to put this one on. I'm just going to hold it up because the first one's already messed up my hair. But it's got a Norse style raven. And you notice those like these two in white and those two in black above the raven. My wife asked me, are those supposed to be, like the footprints of the bird? Yes and no. The main thing is no, because in Norse mythology, the raven, Odin has 2 ravens and 2 wolves. That's why I love both of them. Originally, Odin created 2 wolves to be his companion. And the wolves were getting slightly out of control because they were being a little bit more destructive than Odin desired. So Odin created the 2 ravens to be companions to the wolves, because the ravens would lead the wolves to food. That, in fact, the ravens, I don't remember their names, were considered the eyes of Odin. Basically, Odin would send out his 2 ravens to survey the land, to take note of what's going on in the land and report back to Odin. There's more to that mythological connection between Odin and his ravens and Odin and the 2 wolves. But in Norse mythology, there's a lot of different stories about wolves. The 2 wolves that Odin always has by his side. There's the 2 wolves that are supposed to be, according to legend and mythology. One was a red wolf and one was a black wolf and one was a white wolf. The white wolf chased the moon and the black one chased the sun. And the reason why the black one was black was because the sun scorched his fur and turned him black. While the moon, which is always white, always bright, that's why the white wolf. Now, according to legend, according to stories, is if either one of those 2 wolves that was chasing the sun or the moon were to catch up and devour one or the other, it would be Ragnarok. One of the different signs of Ragnarok. And then there was Finrin, or Finril, can't remember how to pronounce it, there's 2 stories. One is, if you go by the Marvel movie Ragnarok, Finrin was basically Hela's mount, pet wolf, wherever you want it. But in truth, according to Norse mythology, both Hela and Finrin were children of Loki. So I think there's a little bit more than that, because there's so many different interconnected stories within Norse mythology, and it's kind of hard to decipher because somebody, I don't know if they wrote a book or if it was just something they posted on one of the different websites, gave a family tree of the Norse gods. And the family tree, if I remember right, basically said that Hela, Finran, and two others, one of them was a giantess, and the other one was some weird creature, were children of Loki, and I can't remember who the mother of the four children of Loki was. But yeah, Norse mythology is very interested and very intertwined. But anyhow, that's my video for today, Monday the 12th. I will hopefully get on top of my 2 videos, or my mini series on nature versus man, or man versus nature, however you want to put it. So until next time, you guys have a good day. God bless. Bye.